Alright, well, we're live with the ROX Mods, and this time for real the ROX Mods. We're here with a different layout from what you saw just a little bit ago with the Formula Micro race, as we're going to now put the volume on, and you can hear those lovely sounding V8s. By the way, Beagle, those cars ahead of you are not racing, so just go up ahead of them. We are going to start qualifying, so how this is going to work, there's a pit lane right before the start-finish line. So this, what you see up ahead is actually the start-finish line of the club circuit. On the castle, if you look at your left side, there's a big opening on that castle. On the left side of it, right under that is the start-finish line. And before that is the pit lane. I'm going to pull up into the pit lane, and once we reach to the castle, I'm going to start increasing my pace. You guys are going to hold pace until you reach the carousel, which is a little bit you see up there. So we're just going to pace a little. Watch the lights. Once qualifying is over, you guys are going to make your way into that pit lane. Maintain 60 from up here. Increase my pace. We'll maintain 60. Sensor. Start. Green flag, and now it's going to start as soon as we all cross. As soon as a car crosses the line, we're going to make sure it works. Yes, it does. First car coming to the line, that's going to be a Hot Shot Prime. Green flag. 12 is on. A little late there, but that'll be okay. Hot Shot Prime, first starting us off. Makes its way down the hill. We're going to be racing the timing board. Here is our car that will be streaming this board. Let's get a good shot of them while we can here. Bunch of racing going on here, but we're going to watch as Hot Shot Prime pops out of his car. We're going to fly over to them and help him if he can't walk back. Where's his car? Go up to Hot Shot Prime's car. And first time lapse. I don't think anyone actually got a lap there, but we didn't. Here, across the line. I think two is the first person there. A couple cars put the barrier on the start-finish line. His second was only about a lap, except for in practice he looked pretty good, and I think he upholds that. His way to the haircut. Shuffled in 116. Jason, the third car of the about lap. Qualifying could be a huge wild card here, but also see the addition of a chicane. Much different than last year. Cars are clipping it, but we did actually see Shuffle get stuck during practice. We've also seen cars using it like V8 supercars where they just hop over it. So, that could also be another thing that's come up to Zach's advantage. He has an Australian racing background as far as road racing goes. So, a little bit different than American style. But this track might actually fit the Australian style a little bit more with all those bumps and hops. So cars trying to move a little down. We're halfway done with qualifying. Two cars with a valid lap. But this is a pretty quick looking time. Here goes twin turbo V6. That could be just about a cut. He makes his way through chicane. Now to the timing board. Does not count. Would have been quick time, unfortunately does not count. A Crucian, however, takes it over. That's a 108.551 seconds right behind. Zach was en route for a faster time. Unfortunately, couldn't get a valid running through. We're now halfway done. Once again, qualifying is determined by the leader. So even if the checkers are out, you can keep on going as long as the leader has crossed beforehand. The let you guys know when we're in the final lap first. Looks like Zach side by side with Crucian. They're now through the club section of the track. Through the club, start-finish line on the bridge, and looks like Zach to the inside. It's a slider, but looking at the Yets, it's going to be a Crucian coming up on top. Arisneta currently running a purple first sector out on track, of the twin on the more technical side of things. His sector 2 is purple. Now making his way down through the castle, up the straight, up the hill, through the carousel he goes. Up and down the hill goes Twin Turbo V6. Just one more chicane to run around as he goes. Quick time, top of the board. It's a 106.912. That's the fastest we've seen so far, even out in practice. Our Twin Turbo V6 on off for some majestic domination in this race. Arisneta is also pretty quick on the board. Crucian going to take over. Shuffle moves Zek out of the way. As Arisneta, pretty quick sector 2. Shuffle the purple sector 1. Here's Arisneta up and down the hill. Goes a little wide. That could allow her to carry more speed into the chicane here. And gets through the chicane. A little slide. That could have cost a little bit of time. Here she goes across the line. She moves into 5th place. Shuffle running a temporary car. He's running the Pepsi machine, previously gone by, that was 1 Team Proto. Playing some pretty good pace here. ROX Mod race. Oh, that could have been just about a corner cut for him. Just about clips the castle wall. I'm sure the historians are not so happy about that fact as we make our way through. And looking as we are, I think Twin Turbo V6 crosses the line, so we have one more to go once you cross the line, and one more for Beagle now that he's overlapped. So once again, once you cross the line, the white flag is out. Here's Twin Turbo V6 making its way through the first sector. And unfortunately, invalid lap for him, but he'll be coming across the line first. Arisneta looking. Arisneta side by side with Primus for a position. Arisneta through the line, but again coming to the white flag. B2. One more to go for Aris and Primus as Primus moves up to 6th. Twin Turbo V6 now into the castle, making his way through. And once you go around, just do a cooldown lap for me, please, and make your way back into the pit lane. So just do a cooldown lap once you're done and make your way into the pits. Here comes Twin now, and make his way across the line. I did notice a couple cuts you made there. Please don't do those during the race, but you're fine. Anyways, Twin Turbo V6 actually extended his quick time a little bit, but he's going to hold off. He's done. So yeah, make sure not to overtake anyone. The next person up, we have Zach, and Zach overtakes, moves back up to 2nd place. Crucian in 3rd. So you guys are done. Reminder, so don't go for a faster lap. Next up on the board, I believe, going to, it could have been Shuffle now finishing, as well as Multi-Beagle Dude, so Multi-Beagle Dude this time. Arisneta, going down the hill, there's Pineapple Jam, going across the line, they are going to finish. The last car yet to set a lap was Jason, so Jason coming across the line. Okay. Yes, I get it, but if you do make it a habit of going off the same area. No, not the parking place, the pit lane on the inside of the castle, please. Everyone to the pit lane inside the castle. Line up in the following order. It's going to be Twin Turbo V6 in 1st place. Zach coming up in 2nd place. The Crucian in 3rd place. And Shuffle in 4th. Let me get into my car. Shuffle in 4th. Eris in 5th place. No, the leader overtook you. Arisneta in 5th place. Primus in 6th place. Jam in 7th. Jason in 8th. And Multi-Beagle Dude in 9th. And I'll be the pace car driver if Jake isn't here. So everyone line up in your order. Please give each other space here. And it's Twin Turbo V6 1st place. 2nd place Zek 78. Crucian in 3rd. Shuffle in 4th. Arisneta in 5th place. 6th place Hotshot Prime. 7th place is going to be taken by Pineapple Jam. 8th place is going to be Jason Awesome Gaming. And 9th place is Beagle. We're going to be having 25 laps here. on top of 2 pace laps. And for the cars that did not start, unfortunately, that'll be it for them. We'll go off without them. So that would be a couple cars there. And that looks like our grid, so everyone line up, please. I need Jason to move up a spot, please. He's not 5 was also unfortunately to race, I believe, in his quote, he was high. Got 9 stars here today, which equals us to the micros. Alright. Fits off corner, guys. And make everyone's laps -3. Watch the lights. We're just going to make sure that we're streaming just beforehand. Yes, we are. No national anthem. We're going to go straight to the action. Right. Changing all. Wait. Alright, there we go. I'm going to move this down here. Watch the lights this time by, I actually mean it. If you're in your car, then you should wait. Lights. First heavy goes, and maintain a gap. Let's start off slow. And then coast down the hill. I don't know what those arcade brakes were for, guys. Starting off in 9th place, and back with Bruce and 2 people too. 8th place taken up by Jason in the 20 car. In front of them is Jam in the 24 on his debut ROX Mods race. Actually SLC in total. I did race in Daytona test race, and that is it. Up ahead in the 12 car is Hotshot Prime, not DGS car, but actually out of its series to actually start the team for the first time. It's technically blank colors, as it airs that it will be in the 45 yellow and black stripe machine, starring our current season champion, leader, starting place. In 4th place would be Shuffle on their 2nd race in the ROX Mods series, racing I think that's the 57 car. And Beagle, you can just pull it in this lap if you can't finish your race. So cause any disruptions, just pull it in this lap. You got 1 to go. Okay, well, if you're gonna pull it in, then you should probably pull it before the race starts. The points are the same. The Crucian, our GGS car in the field, that's gonna be in the 41 DGS machine. Of course, the black checkers right in front of us. The NH Motorsports car is driven by Zach, and then our leader in the new steering, I think that's the 32, is 226 Rockets, or their old numbers. What's it? One more pace lap after this. And there's to pick up the pace a little bit. Thank you. Increase our pace too. Up to 100 here, but once we reach the castle, I want you guys to go to 60 miles an hour. Maintain a good gap, please. Reminder, if you're 3 laps down, that will be your race. Or if you're 4 laps down. Sorry. change Beagle's laps to 0, so Beagle just wait till everyone crosses the line. Just start going, I guess. We're going to maintain 60 once you get to the hill. I'm going to increase my pace. 60. Oh, that meant to be yellow light. Just trying to manage my moves at the same time. Maintain your positions, guys. Airs. I think. So remember, do not overtake until you cross the line fully. Alright, everyone hold your positions, please. Everyone hold your positions. As we have a car that's spun around, we're going to go another lap around. Maintain your positions, and that was Prime that spun out. Prime spins out again, they will be dropped. Try that one more time. To pick up the pace there. Alright, once you get up the hill, drop to the watch yourself racing. Hold your pace. Need shuffles to increase his pace a little bit here. Everyone else maintain their positions. Maintain pace, maintain pace, maintain pace. Green flag, green flag, green flag, and now take you across the line. And that is a good start on everyone. Not the way into the hairpin. Looks like he's going to make it across first. Here's Aris. No, the dive bomb! What a move by Aris. Unfortunately, it couldn't stick long, but here's the Crucian also in the mixture down there with the man down under, of course. That's not what we need. We're going to get a good shot of the start. Our field now making their way across the castle section for the first time by. It looks like a 3-car battle stirring up there. There's Airsonet going wide. There's the field now. It's a good shot there for the race. Now go down there side by side between Crucian and Zek. They make their way down the hill, and it looks like this time by Twin will be the leader of lap 2 of 25. Crucian in second place. Zek pulling out podium from Aris Netta. As he's currently sandwiched between two of the championship contenders. Zek makes a dive into the hairpin. Aris Netta going to capitalize on this. As there is Aris Netta backing off, and Crucian being challenged again by Zek as they make the way down from the bottom of the hill sector into the club section now. To the first hairpin of the club section. There's a slide from Zach. That looked to very much to benefit him. Zach picking up ground here on a Crucian up the hill. See, sliding his car around the track, but gaining inches. Meanwhile, Twin leaving behind the rest of these threes. They're just making their way through the field, down castle straight up the hill around the carousel. As Crucian side by side with Zach, it looks to be going well for Crucian. There's Netta has an issue. She nearly spun out. There is Shuffle's not making the way by, but Shuffle spins. And currently is one more lap until Beagle's count as a DNF. Crucian side by side with your Zach here. So miss for Crucian. He's up tired, keeps on rolling, but it looks like Zach picking up ground from the pub section. It looks like Zach's gonna make a dive into the hairpin, but it looks like Crucian trying to get through, but just gets at least on the end. Unfortunately for him, that's gonna cost a little bit of time, but still ahead of Arisnetta. The three of them still at the podium position. Crucian started the lap in sec, but he's lost the spot. Zek is doing pretty darn well here. Meanwhile, our dominating leader, that is Twin Turbo V6, makes his way around with this new Lotus scheme. Currently racing for Asterion Motorsports, and it looks to be a pretty good debut race for their team. Arisnett has gotten her spot back. So we're going to watch again. Crucian has lost some ground to Zach. They make their way down into the first hairpin. Looks like Dale's a little bit later on the brakes than Zach. They make their way now into the GP Sector 3, although this is actually Sector 1 for the ROX Mods. They make their way around a couple more turns into the chicane into the left sector. Now under the bridge, it looks like the gap between the two is about a second. Pretty good looking nets it though for Crucian. So now climbing their way up into the castle. Looks like a little bit of ground gained by Dale, but not much. Check the board. Currently, Twin has another quick time. It's a 106.564. So every lap he goes by, he's just going faster. As again, we ask for Twin not to be cutting that turn. We appreciate it. You know it's possible. It's a little more difficult, but I mean, we've got a lot of leeway to work with. With the gap you got, it's about 5 seconds. Unfortunately, cohorts, they have about half a second between the two of them. So here they go through to the hairpin for the 5th lap. We're currently 1/5 way through today's race with the ROX Mods. There's Netta. Had some sort of revving there. I thought she just about spun, but she kept the car under control. So meanwhile, it looks like Primus picking up the ground and Shuffle. Shuffle has had a lot of solid Formula Micro finishes as of late. Though it's a little new to the ROX Mods. Here is Primus, just a little bit on the tail. He's currently running the 12 car that was formerly driven by Aster. As off screen, Crucian has gone ahead of Zek. Unfortunately, Beagle, your day has come to an end before it started. If you want to fly, you can fly. If you just want to watch, probably some good action. Pick out the DNS points of this subject. Still makes their way into the hairpin and stays ahead in second place. Just wait through the castle second. Gap between these drivers is about the same. Not carousel. There's Crucian making their way across the line in second place. Jason about to be overlapped for the first time on track. See Twin going around the outside. So we're gonna ask for Twin Turbo V6 to watch their corner counts, because even if it doesn't count, it is still visibly cutting. So it's a little bit lessened for the ROX Mods because of how wide they are, but we still tell them some cuts. Still not make the way through. I think there's Zek now making the way up closer towards, a little bit closing in towards our second place driver, that is Crucian. Crucian on pits by Jason. There is also just a little bit behind so down into the hairpin. So I think closing in on a third of the race time. The ground being closing a little bit there between Dale and Zach, though. Oh yeah, it's really getting close in. Okay, now through the club sector. I think that gap has been shaped down to about 4 or 5 car lengths. Right on the bumper now, as Twin has gotten loose or something. Made a bit of a mistake. Here goes a Crucian. Zach makes a move down the inside, crosses over for second place. They make the way now through the castle. Twin just ahead of the two. As these guys now through, looks like Dale goes a little wide. Zach a little bit he's shaved that gap down, but he's lost a little. By the end of the lap, it looks to go in Dale's favor. Never mind. There's the Crucian spinning out of the chicane. That's very tough. He's gotten lost a little bit. Probably gonna have some very strong words about that chicane afterwards. He's lost a good couple spots, went all the way from pulling off second, even closing in on first, all the way back here. All the way to fourth place. This track is now in Zach's favor. Zach has yet to have won a ROX Mod race. I'm sure Zach they're hopeful to. And this might be the one track that goes in their favor. And this Twin is only about 2 seconds or so ahead of Zach. As these two are now making their way up the hill. Meanwhile, I think Shuffle could be getting close in a little bit by Hot Shot Prime. Not quite enough to say anything about it. There's Twin getting down the hill. Gets a little bit of a flick there, but looked very nice. It's flat through the chicane. The gap between Zach and Twin just a little bit smaller. Next couple laps get determined. We are approaching the crossbox point. It's going to be about 12 and a half laps. I think by the time we get on the left sector, I believe on lap 12, that'll be the crossbox for technically guys. Up the hill as Zach spins out, flipped the castle walls. Didn't spin as hard as Crucian had, but that lost him second place. And a sizable gap there with Twin Turbo V6. Currently, as the board goes, Zach is just a little bit behind from Twin. He's been consistently fast, and unfortunately, that ball clip did not help. It was set before by him. This is a very challenging track, but that's, in his eyes, one of the fun parts. Wouldn't be surprised if currently is second guessing that there's a Crucian making his way up and down the hill. Though looking at the timing board, we see Arizona has closed in a little bit of that gap with Twin, about 4 seconds between the two. So Aaron is currently a little bit naughty these past few laps. To go down inside. That was a pretty good looking line there. And then Zeros falls right behind. Solid lap there by twin turbo releases. I'm not sure if Bears can say the same. She's lost a little bit of the time that she made initially. Second Zach, now she's blistering lap by twin, although twin. I thought I saw something where that could have just been a little bit of a lag spike. Saw him biking up there, but it looks to be pretty solid for him. Twin on to the top sector. I think he's the only driver that's yet to make a mistake all day. Is going to be pushing hard to catch up. He's going to really almost slide there. So Zach and Nesper's up in the road. Look at the wrap that board, and it looks like it has gotten a little bit in the favor of Zach. Up a little bit around. Let's see how Ayers is looking. Seems to be about the same for Ayers. Yep, not a huge difference as Sec goes around on the exit of the chicane. That's a bit of a hard spot to do that on. That's a lot of speed loss that could come to the benefit of Crucian. He clips a bit of the wall, but he's caught a lot of speed with Zek having to go basically from a full stop. Zek has had 2 spins, still is ahead of Crucian. Unfortunately, the gap between those two and Twin is quite significant. We're over halfway down today's race. As the gap between these two has gone down to about 3 seconds. The original gain getting going up the hill, and Garrison trying to get way up around. I think that was a car spin now. That might have been Jam or Primus. That was Primus that spun out. So, Jam picked up a little bit of ground on Hotshot Prime to make the way down the hill. It's going to be a battle for 6th place potentially in just a few moments. First, I'm getting their way into the braking zone. We're going to check real quickly to make sure we're not missing any action up front. Looks to be set as it is. Cars can make it the way through nice and clean. Ooh, there's a bit of a spin for Crucian, but he kept it under control. We're going to watch now and see how Primus is doing. That gap between Primus and Jam, just a couple tenths, or about a second actually. But definitely gaining. So 2 newer drivers to the series, as Primus goes down the inside of the wall. Almost clipping it, but that was pretty solid through, so make the way into the castle. New leader Twin Turbo V6 not too far behind. Jam runs a little wide, and that gap has been lost a little bit. There's a good save there by Primus. Kept his car under control, though those saves do hurt a little bit. Here's your leader Twin Turbo V6 about to overlap Hotshot Prime. Good spot Jam. Primus is nest target. There's Jason. Couple cars that are lap cars that are V6 here. You can see he makes his way, cutting through them basically almost like butter. That is Twin Turbo V6 in the lead. I don't want to say anything about these two. These two have been battling throughout the day, I'd say. It looks like Jam got into a bit of a save moment. That's a little costly when it happens. I think Arizona now closing in. Neris is picking up the pace a little. This last lap, she was significantly, well, a little faster than Twin. She's had a slow couple laps. She's just about smacks the wall, keeps it going. 10 to go. I'm running to 9 for Twin Turbo V6. He's now making his way out as the chicane onto the front straight, and Twin Turbo V6 comes another lap through. 9 to go. gap with theirs does extend a tiny bit. But Twin has been backing off these last couple laps. Has quite a gap there right now, so doesn't need a lot to push here. Just needs to keep his car together. And he might be on route for a second win today. There's now hopping over the car, or over the tires like a Stadium super truck. That jam might be picking up a little bit of ground here on Hot Shot Prime. Now make the way through the castle section, and Jam is into the wall. There's no now overtaking Jam. This Jam did have a pretty good run, unfortunately. Goes back to the wall, did have a little bit of time there. There's now making the way through the chicane. She smacks the wall. That speed's going to benefit Jam as Jam gets by and unlaps himself from her. There's no dive down the inside, makes her way through Jam into the first sector of the track. Spread out there. I think Crucian might be the next battle with Zek to make. Though Zek currently on route for a relatively solid podium. Check more briefly again. Zek currently sliding their way through the hill. A couple people don't like that turn. I think Zek and I probably. When you can slide like that, that does get quite fun. It's, I'd say Zach probably does like that turn. So here he goes into the carousel. About to get by Jason. So he makes the move, he gets by Jason. Now River Tender Breeze is currently running away with it. Twin does a nice dive down the inside. I think off-screen air's probably spun out and Primus has gotten away and laps himself. As we run 6 to go for Twin Turbo V6, we're at the closing stage of the race. I'm sure that it's pretty easy to get 2 wins here. I think he might have been. Twin Turbo V6 is a very dominant driver. He's had a lot of history of that with the ROX Mods historically. He won 2021 and 2022 as well. I don't know if it's a little, it might be a little bit tough. It could even be a chance later on in the year. He keeps on running like this. He could even see 2023 on his bucket list. I think he'll retire, but his recent performance has really shown that he's still got a lot in him. Now making my way through the castle. As he has a lag spike, or I have a lag spike. That was a big one on my part, but everything is going to be good. Twin slightly clipping the barrier, but that's not going to cut a lot of speed off of him. Makes his way across the line, and washing Air's now making a way through the chicane. A lot clearer than Twin. That's probably going to help a little bit this lap and next lap, although we got 5 to go for our leaders. As I'm really having some lag spikes, but it looks to be okay, I think. It's honestly surprising that we've not seen any big incidences during this race, but I do think that a lot of people are going to be a lot more cautious, knowing that a mistake is not going to be reversible. Gap between second and first seems to stay pretty consistent. It's going to go across the chicane. Just a beautiful line there. So we now see 4 to go for twin turbo V6. He's got a single corner cut as far as the marked cuts goes, or marked cuts go, so good running on for him. He's his way down the hairpin. That might have sounded a bit weird. That sounded like a car just about spinning out. But I couldn't see anything visually, so I can't really assume anything between them the way up the castle sector. On route for 3 laps to go, so here he goes down the hill, gets a little bit of a nice flick there. He maintained good control, so now makes his way through the chicane with 3 laps to go. I don't know if Eris is really going to be able to close into that gap in time. It is quite in the race, something big has to happen for such a thing to happen. It's now making their way into the tire chicane and goes through pretty well with this preliminal lap, excuse me. Club section. That looks to be a shuffle about to be overlapped by twin turbo V6 with 1 to go after this. We get a bit of a lag spike, but here we go. So our car's now making their way to the line. Twin turbo V6 now down the straightaway in the castle sector. Have a huge lag spike once again, but I'm gonna hope that my internet doesn't die before this race finishes. Twin now going through the chicane. White flag in the air for twin turbo V6. He's now making his way down the hill. The stock car layout has been significantly different than the micro track, a lot harder in a lot of ways too, as he now makes his way into the hairpin. Twin turbo V6 now through the micro sector 3 or sector 1 up the tire chicane, avoids the tires. Here's currently holding off what seems to be just trying to get a solid second. Here's Twin out through the club section, makes his way across the first hairpin of the club section, technically speaking, out of it, then up the hill into the castle. He's got to get this line right. He gets it pretty good, a little bit of a flick, but it seems to go in really well with the weight transfer. He's now making his way across into the straightaway on the castle. And here is Twin Turbo V6 going up the hill. And I count wrong. We got 1 to go after this. I guess I don't know how to count, so... white flag in the air. Sorry, white flag in the air. This time, for real, down the first straightaway into the hairpin. And that is purely on my own fault there. I'm actually very sorry. Don't know what made me do that, but anyways, as it goes, Twin Turbo V6 now into the club sector. This is his last chance here to make any mistakes for Eris, although that gap, even if he does, it seems to be like this could just about be his. Twin Turbo V6 now making his way up the hill into the castle. As it gets a nice looking turn. A lot more stable than last lap. And as he now goes through into the straightaway. Twin Turbo V6 now through the straightaway, making their way up the hill into the carousel. And they're going to run a pretty good line. There's only one more spot for them to really make a mistake. It's this chicane. Will they make one? They do not. They go right through. Nice and solid. Twin turbo V6 is your race winner. And don't overtake anyone, by the way, because I think there's somebody right ahead. And there could be other people coming across the line, I believe, between Eris, but we'll keep you checked up on that. Eris Netta now making their way across the line. They come up in 3rd place. It's now Zach's turn. As Shuffle nearly spins out there. But Shuffles will come across in, I believe that will be 5th place. Coming across the line on the podium. That is your podium. That is Zach. Crucian going to come across the line backwards. The only person challenging them for a position is, that would be Shuffle. There's Shuffle in 5th place, old lap back. And so we now have between Hotshot Prime. Hotshot Prime finishes in 6th place as Jam. It's now Jam's turn to come across the line. Jason is in 8th. As Jam makes his way across the line, they are the finisher. Last finisher today in 7th place. As I believe Dale has raged out of the race. Give me a second, we're off to him. Oh, that might have been a bad spot too. Current quick time held by Twin Turbo V6, but here's Twin doing some donuts. Gonna now start working for our podium. It's been a bit of a race of survival today. A little bit rougher than the Formula Micro, so that's usually how it tends to go. We're not gonna... Alright, let's Air's too short, huh? Alright, we're gonna now get to our interviews in just a second, just with the game. As that is your podium, Twin Turbo V6, Zach in 2nd, or sorry, Air's in 2nd, and Zach in 3rd, as my screen is frozen. That is why. I'm recording while I'm recording, that's causing some mild lag issues. And we're gonna get the interviews now up here. So a lot of people left beforehand, but we're gonna get our podium as well as Jason. So coming for 1st place, we have Twin Turbo V6, 2-time winner on this year's edition of Lakeside Castle Raceway.
Yeah, this is actually pretty similar to last year's race, though. Honestly, like from start to finish, except Jen wasn't here, unfortunately. I wish she was racing, but yeah, it's just a race. Eris did a pretty good pace, though, like to the end, so that caused me to push a little bit more. But yeah, if it wasn't for that one cut I had in the club section, I probably would have said this was my best race ever. Or at least one of them, just because I never usually get 0 cuts in a race, so it would be awesome to have, but unfortunately this never happened. But yeah, congrats to Eris and Zek for their podium, and everyone else for not dying and rage quitting.
I'm honestly surprised that not a single person here DNF'd.
Yeah, that's pretty good, because these curves were slippery as hell.
Oh yeah,
like,
the track is actually a slight bit more slippery than the usual tracks you run. You probably noticed that.
It felt like we were driving on a damp track at some points.
Yeah, I wouldn't say wet, but it was a little bit damp.
Yeah.
Right on that one.
Yeah.
Alright, well thank you there,
Twin.
Oh.
Yeah, GG.
Alright. Thank you there, Twin. That was a very solid race. Completely dominated this entire day. We'll see how you do tomorrow with the other classes, as next up is Eris Netta in 2nd place.
Oh, hello.
Hi. This, I mean,
Jeez,
it is helpful for the championship, but that looked like a very tough race out there.
it was terrible. The club sector being there is a nightmare for me. It is honestly so painful because on the first hairpin of the club sector, if you get a bad exit, you can't connect properly to the other turn, and if you cut from having a bad exit, you have a bad exit off of that turn. So the club sector I feel was my biggest nightmare. The second one was S1, no S2, sorry, like the earlier part of S2. The castle was okay. Uh, I don't know, really. It was just weird. The car felt like it had no grip whatsoever sometimes. Like, I would find myself oversteering and having to correct it, but ending up going wide, understeering so bad that I hit a wall. It was a nightmare. Ugh.
Uh,
So,
survival
good.
race.
Yeah, it was a survival race. Good job to everyone, really. Twin, I still have no clue how you pull this shit off. Good job to Zach. It's happy seeing some new faces on the podium. Um, I mean, I don't know. Also, good job to everyone else. The race, I can say, was fun to an extent, but I didn't exactly like the survival of the fittest aspect of it. I agree with what Twin said. Sometimes it felt like the track was wet.
It does have a little less friction than some of the tracks on the schedule. I mean,
Yeah,
Loans has the most. I should say Loans is the highest friction, but this track has, I think, one of the lowest dry friction tracks, I believe.
oh right, this track was rain raced before. I completely forgot. Yeah, that was my first one. Am I stupid?
Yeah, but I don't
Uh,
think it's actually that slippery though.
maybe it's still raining but we just can't see it. Maybe we're colorblind.
Oh, it also doesn't help that there's no physical properties, so all the bumps there.
Yeah, true, true. I mean,
All right.
it's an old track.
Yeah. It runs like an old one. We got another person here that said this is definitely going to be a track he's going to be good at, and coming up to a podium for NH Motorsports, we have Sec. I think you're unmuted.
Well, what do you know? I am.
Um, definitely a tough race with you and Accrucian for a lot of that race, but some ups and downs. And you said this is I think you said this is a challenging track before the race started, but does it stand?
Um, I would say so, yeah. Like, you gotta, like, concentrate really hard on this track, but once you do, though, once you get into the rhythm and the groove of it, it's so fun, at least for me, because there's not most tracks let you do this, but I was able to get the car loose a lot, and that's just my type of driving style of how to drive faster. Like, it
I definitely
was good.
saw a bunch of your drifts up on the turn into the castle. That seemed to be like the turn you were really doing it on, and it actually seemed like you were doing good at it too. So
Yeah, it was just rather unfortunate that I wanted to be like initial D and I just yanked the car around too hard and I hit the castle wall or
yeah,
what was there. Yeah,
you clipped the I don't know what they call a castle door, but you clipped that.
yeah. It was just rather unfortunate. I probably would have kept up with Twin Turbo if I hadn't done that. And RS probably would have still passed me, but I would have still been up there, you know?
Mhm. Well, it's good to see you on the podium. I think this could be your first podium if I recall correctly. Or might be
No,
your
yeah,
second.
this is my
Your
first.
first.
Oh, well. Yeah, no, I can't remember either, but I'm just gonna say this is my first.
All right. Well, thank you there, Zach. That's a very fantastic podium. We're gonna talk to your teammate. If you still hear that, is Jason. Um, Jason's the last little straggler of the rest of the field. I think everyone else is quite frustrated with the race. But how do you feel, Jason? Team did pretty good, and I think you had a 8th place finish today, but you did finish.
Yeah, I feel good. got a place in Lakeside Raceway
Mhm.
Park, I guess, but I feel good.
Well, it's a very good job. You survived. I'm actually surprised that everyone came home today. The only person that wasn't sent home, or that was sent home, was Beagle, just out of not getting on track on time. But it was a very solid race by everyone, and it's good to see you come home today with the race finish on a track like this. This is a hard track, judging by everyone, but I think you held together pretty well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say for today?
Nope.
All right. Well, there we go. We got our interviews for today. Only 4 people here. Most people were not quite happy with how they did today, and I could understand why. This is so very much in common with other tracks like track loans or I think Augustus this way too a little bit, where it's just a survival race. So it's a bit of the name of the game. But next week, fortunately for a lot of you guys, we'll be having a much easier track to race on. So that will be good to see for a couple people. Others not so much. I know some of you guys like these tough tracks, but for those that want a little relief, next week's going to be at a actual European racetrack, so we'll see how that one goes. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna settle it for today. Till tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna be doing the GTIs on the full circuit for the first time since 2021. Which is, by the way, for those that are still sticking around to watch the stream, you do the GP layout and the castle layout, so that would be every little bit gets used on this track, all the way around. You don't use the club sector there, but you use everything else. So that would be a bit interesting to see how that one goes. So that's again 12 p.m. US PST tomorrow, and then again on Sunday, I think at 12 p.m. US PST. That will be the Mitz cars, which will be racing the little club circuit. You see a car currently on track. I think that's actually a Italian Miata. Let's make its way hard into the wall, driven by Arisnetta. So yeah, that's gonna settle for the stream today. Till next time.